We're going to talk about the baroreceptor of blood pressure. Blood pressure, BP in short. It is a measure of the force of blood pushing against blood vessel walls. Doctors call them systolic, which is the top number, and diastolic, which is the bottom number. Of course, it is important to learn what the heart is. It is a vital organ which pumps blood and supplies oxygen throughout the body. Arterioles, a small branch of an artery that leads to a capillary. Cardiac output, which is a volume of blood pumped by the heart. Aortic sinuses, one of the three openings of the ascending aorta. Cardioaxillary, a group of neurons in the medulla from which cardiac and sympathetic nerves arise. What we have here is a heart. Baroreceptor is a type of interoceptor that, stimulated by pressure changes, monitors body exchange in BP, blood pressure, to negative feedback. When the blood pressure that the vessels increase, the brain receives a signal to carry out what it must operate to bring the body back to homeostasis. Increased blood pressure stretches the carotid arteries. See, it used to be normal, now it stretches. Let's say that it stretches. The carotid arteries, which is also known as the carotid sinus baroreceptors, and aorta, which would be the aortic arch baroreceptors. Increased blood pressure stretches the carotid arteries and aorta, which causes the baroreceptors to increase basal rate of action potential generation. Action potential is conducted by the glossopharyngeal nerve, which would be this one, and vagus nerve, to the cardioregulatory and vasomotor centers in the medulla oblongata. As a result of increased stimulation from the baroreceptors, the cardioregulatory center increases parasympathetic stimulation to the heart, which decreases the heart rate. The vasomotor center decreases sympathetic stimulation to blood vessels, causing vasodilation. The vasodilation, along with a decreased heart rate and decreased stroke volume, bring the elevated blood pressure back towards normal. If the initial problem were a decrease, the activities and the effects of the baroreceptors, cardiovascular centers, and vasomotor center would be the opposite of what was mentioned before.